Hi, I'm Pete, and welcome to Just a Few Acres Farm. You know my lovely wife, Hillary. It's not bad outside today, is it?
As long as there's not white stuff on the ground, I'm good.
Well, it's in the upper 20s, but it's going to be sunny. We're hopeful. I've got the John Deere plow I've been working on hooked up to the Farmall MD, and we're going to get to that later. But first, we have to do some cattle moving. I don't know if we're up to it today. They sure are heavy. There they are, all scattered around the field. Step one, there's always lots of steps, is to close off the winter pasture gate. Will you keep them from complaining? Can you do that?
I will do my best. You guys, you really don't have a lot to complain about. We've been doing very well for grass this year.
Oh my gosh. All right, guys. Now I'm going to lead you over this way. Hey, Shaggy. You guys got nothing to complain about? Look at those round bellies. Even on you, Tulip. Well, come on around the corner this way. This is a temporary fence that we used to divide off the chicken field, but the chickens are gone now. Come around the corner, don't just yell. We're gonna make a temporary entrance for the cattle here. I'm gonna take this one home.
Yep.
We'll just fold it around.
Yeah.
Well, come on, cows. Here's a line. They've picked this side over. On the other side of the fence, though, there's some stuff for them to eat going through the whole chicken field. Come on, cows. Come on, cows. Oh, come on. Let's go. You're going to like it. Come on, cows. Come on, cows. Come on, cows. Let's go.
You don't need to be.
Here they come. Yep, there's stuff to eat in here. Gordon, I haven't seen you move so fast in a while. Come on, Titus. Oh, we always get a confused calf. Hey, Titus, you've been rolling in the hay. Let me get this guy around. No, don't go that way. 2506. Come on. Let's go. Come on, you're the last one. Come on, bud. Go around. Just, you squirrely calves. There you go. You got the idea. Okay. Now I'll just close this back up. Through the live fence on the winter pasture. I love that sound. Lots to eat in here. This has been growing for a while. It's frosted. Here's the bull calf behind these brown ones. There he goes. Down here is a lot of stockpile clover that I just let grow. We'll see how they pick through that. This is the last field they'll be on for the year, and then it's into the winter quarters. One thing that's nice to do, and sometimes we don't have the chance because the fields just get too wet this time of year, is to gradually transition them between pasture and hay, you know, kind of let their diet slowly transition. I think it's better for them. This year we have the opportunity to do that because it's dry enough to keep them on that field and let them into here for at least a week, you know, maybe longer depending on how long the forage holds and the weather. After that, they'll be in here for the winter and out into the winter yard here for exercise and fresh air. Is it too tall?
Yeah, I think it is.
We'll take one out. Of course, as the bedding pack comes up, we put these 6x6s under the water to bring it up. Frequently asked question, why don't we put the water on this side of the feeder panel to help prevent the cattle from pooping in it? Well, the calves, these are spaced so that the calves can't get through them, but at that spacing, the bulls can't put their heads through them, so the bulls wouldn't be able to drink if it were on the other side. I could build some gizmo to, but it's one of those things, it doesn't happen all that often. You know, it might happen 3 or 4 times in a winter. It's not a big deal to clean out the tank, so this is where it stays. This is the tank in the grove that they drink out of when they're on pasture. So we gotta take care of this for the winter and get the float valve out of it. It's got some chunkiness to it. The water's chunky this morning. I don't run tank heaters very much at all. They never need it in the barn because they drink the water fast enough, and then when you put new water in it, it melts any ice that's collected on the sides. The heifer's tank is outside, and I only run a heater in that probably for a week or 2 out of the winter. Those tank heaters, I'll tell you, 1250 watts almost all day long. There's a lot of electricity usage. Only when needed. Rocks. Amazingly enough, I was able to find these for free. This stays this way for the winter. So we need it again. Let's see here. Oh, some enterprising cow chewed on this. Yeah. I like these connections because they're easy. No screwdriver, no clamps. I get them at Tractor Supply. The plastic is kind of an added bonus for me because hoses have become a mixture of aluminum and brass fittings, and they tend to weld together if you leave them that way for a long time. Quick connect on the hydrant, because when we fill it, this is how we disconnect and drain the hose. Just disconnect it here, let the hose down, and the water drains out of it. So what happens is these float valves will freeze up in the winter, so in winter use I just shut this off, turn off the float valve so it doesn't freeze back up into here, and then when I disconnect the hose, this elbow self-drains through gravity, so up to the top of the hose and then down to the bottom, and let that go. With leather gloves on, your gloves will shrink.
Yeah, they will.
More salt the next time we run to town, or mineral I should say. I guess we're all set here. cattle on pasture. They have access to the barn, and slowly they're going to move into their winter quarters. As for our winter hay situation, we have plenty in the barn, at least a year and a half. I'm so fortunate to have two neighbors within a couple of miles that make a lot of hay and sell it, and so even though it was a dry summer, we're in great shape. And I've got the tractors up here keeping each other company. The 504, which I'm going to use to load hay bales this winter, and the 756 and the 856, which I still need to finish, but I probably won't do sheet metal until the snow is flying and there's really nothing to do outside. This is my Farmall MD, 1950, I think, and I restored it starting in 2020. First tractor I restored on the channel. It's unique. It starts on gasoline and it runs on diesel. From here back, it's the same as a regular M, but from here forward, it's completely different. This side of the engine, the right side, well, it looks like gasoline. It's got battery ignition. You know, here's a distributor cap, coil, carburetor, gasoline sediment bowl. But on the other side, it's diesel. Here's a big old injection pump. It's a 4-cylinder engine, fuel filters, water trap. On early diesels in the U.S., folks like Caterpillar and John Deere used pony motors to start engines, but International put it all in one engine. And the key is that there's an extra valve in each cylinder that opens up an extra combustion space and lowers the compression, exposes the spark plug, so you get it going that way, and then you throw a lever that raises the compression by closing the valve to that extra chamber, turns off the spark, turns on the diesel injection pump, and away you go. It's needed for warm-up, and you can't run it on gasoline doing work. It just idles on gasoline. In fact, it's really not good for the engine to run it more than to warm it up. So it's probably 30 degrees out now, and the engine still starts pretty good with a little choke. So it's running on gasoline. And now, switched over to diesel, you've got the throttle lever and you've got the compression release lever, which I'm going to engage the compression. Now it's running on diesel. I just wanted to go through that for anybody that's new to the channel. Onto the plow. This is a John Deere F620H plow, and I finished doing replacement, new shears, new shins, new coulters, new land sides. You can't see them, there's some dirt crusted on them. I had all kinds of problems with this plow. I took it out to adjust it and try it out yesterday. And probably, rather than yapping about it, I'll just show you what the problems are. I love the sound of this tractor. There we are. That's an 8-inch deep furrow, which is where I want to be, really. Wheels riding all right. Coulters I set up a little bit because the ground is so stinking rocky. I mean, I'm hitting rocks this size regularly. It makes plowing a lot different when you have that many rocks. But my big problem is weight. I need weight in the rear. I don't have anything. The wheels are empty, they're not ballasted, no wheel weights, and so I'm just spinning. I tried plowing in first gear, it spun, and it didn't turn the sod as much as I'd like. You want to go at a speed so that it'll flip it. So I started plowing in second gear, It's just slipping. I just don't have enough weight. It's not an issue of power though. I mean, the tractor's handling the plow fine. It's just weight. I need weight. Come on. Let's go. I'd hate to plow a 6-inch or 4-inch furrow. I want to get down and get that sod all turned over. Other issues. I thought I could find a stop collar that actually screws on and pushes this button on the cylinder. I looked around online. I can't find anything. I had to modify my collars to fit around that. This rear bottom keeps tripping. I tightened it up, but the real problem is the spring busted in here just like it was broken on the front one. And of course I can't get those off the shelf. I have to order them, so I stuck a C-clamp in here. Doesn't look like it worked very well. It's really frustrating because I put so much work into this plow, but I'm going to have to go to plan B because I want to get this field plowed. The soil moisture is right. Yeah, it's important to always have a plan B. This is a Little Genius number 8, I think. 14-inch 2-bottom plow. It's got a pull trip on it instead of hydraulics. It's the coolest looking thing ever, I think. Whereas the John Deere is a high-speed plow, I think of this more as a low-speed plow. It seems to do better in first gear than second gear. And the points are much different. This one needs a little bit of attention. These points have these mushroom head studs on them that fit into these slots like this. This one had loosened up, so I took it off to clean out the dirt. And it's got a J-hook that pulls back on it to secure it. It wraps around the front stud here through that plate. And then you tighten up the square nut. International had the same proclivity for 9/16 inch and 7/16 inch bolts way back then as they did in the more modern tractors. This one's a 9/16. Give her some grease. This being still a 14-inch plow, it should still cut a 7 or 8 inch deep furrow, which is what I'm looking for. We'll see if it jumps out of the furrow a lot because of the rocks or what. Board scoured good, clean. That plow sure turns the soil nice, but I'm not getting as deep as a furrow. About 7 inches. I think that's all right. Boy, I gotta clean up this mess that I made though, trying to get the other plow to work. Tractor's running great. That's rich stuff. Last year I painted a green plow red. This year I'm painting a red plow green. I'm not done plowing that field, but I think I am done plowing with this plow. It was fun, but slow. But still, using that plow was a lot better than using this plow. Although with this plow, I could have got my steps in. The reason I'm plowing this field, well, there's a bunch of reasons. Plowing is quite often portrayed as a very bad thing in agriculture these days. For lots of reasons. It creates a plane on the underside of where the plow is, so I'm plowing it 8 inches or so. A compaction plane where the plow rides. And so if you plow year after year, you gradually get that separation plane. And that's why people went to chisel plowing, farmers did. It's also, of course, the turning of the soil and the killing of the plants and the release of carbon. That has to be taken into consideration, but I would argue that plowing is not always a bad thing. In this case, I'm plowing because I have surface soil compaction, mainly from hoof traffic from the cattle. We use that field heavily for grazing in the early years of our farm when not all the fields were planted yet. And hoof traffic will compact the soil probably worst of just about anything. And plowing helps to relieve that compaction. I also have rough spots in the field, and I make hay off of our pasture fields as well. So the only way to really level that out well is to plow it up and kind of regrade it with the disc and the cultimulcher to flatten it out. So I have good reasons. Plowing's also a lot of fun using old equipment, and there's that reason as well. This morning I went out and bought these 4 sets of cast wheel weights, 4 per wheel, a mixture of solids, which would have been original to the M, and splits, which bolt on just the same, and all thread to mount them. Look what just pulled in the driveway. What a rig. Makes my old H look puny. This is lime. I'm having 2 tons per acre put on this field that I seeded in the spring. Rate of spread and what he's covered is all computerized in the machine. GPS and monitors on the spreader. Then I've got 2 fields, 4 acres here. Call this the woods field. Top dressing this with 1 ton per acre established seeding. And then this field, the upper half of the lower field, 5 acres, 1 ton per acre. It don't take them long to cover ground. That's all. Of course, lime raises the pH of the soil, so it releases available nitrogen that's locked up otherwise at a lower pH. I always do that with new seeding. I'm experimenting with the 2 other fields that were done to see how much it affects grass growth. We haven't seen pH drop a lot, but I think it's a worthwhile experiment. It only took them, I don't know, 20 minutes, and most of that was trying to make all the tight turns because I use such small equipment. Here's my plan going forward and why I didn't finish that field with the 2 bottom. I ordered springs, the rest of the springs, the other 2 for this, so hopefully my plow tripping issues will be over. And this 3 bottom John Deere plow and this MD make a great plowing pair. The MD was originally rated for 3 plows. It pulls it just fine, except it slips. So I'm going to put 5. I have the 4 sets of weights that I bought, plus 1 more I have in the barn, 5 sets of weights on each side of this. And that'll put about 750 pounds per wheel. And that'll give me enough weight, hopefully, to get good traction. Back in the day, this had both fluid-filled tires and 2 sets of weight on each side. It won't be that much weight, but I think it'll be good enough for plowing. And the other thing I want to do is I want to put a Charlin power steering unit on this MD. One of the reasons, and people have noted this, that I don't use this tractor that much is just because the dang thing steers a lot harder than the H. It's not like grunt hard like this, but after you run it for 4 or 5 hours, you feel it the next day. So in my retirement, I'd like to be able to take this rig to plow days, as well as doing a little plowing here and there on my land as needed. And I think that'll be the perfect setup. So in the next video, I'll continue with that, as well as whatever else that we've got to do outside the farm. Should be able to get this set up, plow the rest of that field. We got some neighbor plowing on the neighbor's land to do with the neighbor who runs John Deere. So John Deere's and Internationals hold classic tractors both together on the same fields, and we'll go from there. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time.